Number 1, Vernal and Nevada Falls via the Mist Trail. What do you know? I've done this one before, and what do I remember? It being a very strenuous hike. Let's look at it. 7.2 miles. Yes, just how I remembered it. Estimated time of hiking, 3 hours and 54 minutes. 4 hours? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Vernal.
I want to see this. Tristan, we gotta go.
Hey bud, what's up? What's up with you? Come on. She had people come dance, and she had artists.
His knees slow down.
that has to be my number one hike in Yosemite so far. I did not go to Nevada Falls like I thought I would. So I stopped right at the top of Vernal Falls. I went up to Emerald Pool, and there was a bridge right here, which has no name, right along the Mist Trail that goes all the way to Nevada Falls right here. And then if you continue up here, you come to the John Muir Trail Junction. This is something I want you guys to know. If you want to do something and you pressure yourself so much to where you completely don't even do it at all, give yourself that out. The, hey, it's all right if I don't complete what I set out to do. At least you did something, which for me was, at least I went up to Vernal Falls and I captured a lot of amazing footage for you guys. So I didn't do number one, which was Vernal and Nevada Falls. I had to go down, 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 and so it would be number 6 on the list for all trails, Vernal Falls. And you can see that hike right here is rated as hard. The length is 4 miles with an estimated time of 2 hours and 16 minutes. Before I started my journey onto Vernal Falls, I stopped by Curry Village right here to grab a drink with some sugar in it, some nutrients, because I only had a water bottle with me, and I knew that wasn't gonna be enough because whenever I do my videos, I take forever composing the shots, just stopping and getting different angles. What I found was this place right here, and where I went was Curry Village Gift and Grocery Store, and they had a bunch of snacks, knickknacks, food that you could grab. Alongside it was Mountain Shop at Curry Village, which is pretty much souvenirs, t-shirts, sweaters, jackets. And then in the back you had the pizza deck. So after I got my drink, I headed over to the parking lot where I parked, and I put on some sunscreen because I knew being out so long I did not want to get burnt. Don't forget the sunscreen, guys. 4-hour hike, yes, you're gonna burn without this guy. So I headed up here towards the campground reservation office, and then I made my way right onto the Happy Isle Loop Road. And from there, it's just an amazing, cool warm-up since it's just flat all the way from the parking lot to the Happy Isle Bridge. It's a nice stroll, and from there you could kind of stretch your legs, get ready, prepare yourself mentally. The view on your right, the left, the campground, which I'm so jealous of the people that are able to reserve those spots, because I really want to camp right in Yosemite one day, because man, it is so beautiful there day and night. Just imagine a campfire with your friends, your family, and then the night sky, the stars, the mountains in the distance. Not even in the distance, it looks so close because they're so huge and they're surrounding you. So once I made it to Happy Isles Bridge, I had to take a quick stop because the water just looked stunning, and it felt so good. The day was not hot, it was just perfect, right? Once I left the little bridge area and continued my way down right here, that's when the hike really began for me, because the trail started to slope up. And even though it's a short hike, you can see from that bridge to Vernal Falls right here, the bridge before that actual waterfall, it's not very far off, but this is a really steep hike. And I say that now, but from Vernal Falls Bridge all the way up to the actual waterfall itself, that is 2 to 3 times steeper than the previous hike to the bridge. Surprisingly, there is a decent amount of people along the trail as well. I was not expecting this. This was on a Thursday. I guess these times are better than the full-on no permit. That's when it would be crazy foot traffic. But for now, take advantage of it while you can, guys, as there's not so many people, and you can just take on the views without being or feeling rushed. So once I got to the footbridge, that's where I saw everybody hanging out, getting their rest, refilling their water, which is really good to have. Refilling your water before you go up to that really hard slope gradient of a hike to Vernal Falls. And it's a good spot as well because you got restrooms, and there's a ranger station. You can ask the rangers there's anything about whatever you might be wondering, such as I had asked them how long do they think it would take for me to get to Vernal Falls, Nevada Falls, and then from Nevada Falls to hike this trail you see right here all the way down to Clark Point, to hike from Clark Point all the way down this zigzag switchbacks back to the Mist Trail head. They said 5 hours. I kid you not, they said 5 hours. So once I refueled, I started my way from the falls footbridge of Vernal, and then I went up and up and up to Vernal Falls, and that is where it was really challenging. The gradient, it was pretty much stairs made out of concrete rock slabs, literally like that, guys. That was how it was. You had to just climb up like that, because if you stood up straight you might fall backwards and you might have nothing to brace yourself with. So kind of had to hunch forward and go up to the top. And so once I got to Vernal Falls, wow, the water was not something I was expecting. There was a lot of water, I'll tell you that. There was a lot of water, as you guys can see. A while back, there was a time when I had gone up here with my friend, and Vernal Falls, that pool that you guys see, people actually hiked down there and jumped in the water and swam. So once I made the trip to Vernal Falls, I continued up to the top of Vernal Falls. The stairs got even steeper, going along the rock cliff, the side of the wall to get to Vernal Falls. That was exhilarating. Like, it gets your heart going, because you're literally on the side of a mountain. Well, even though the hike previously you were on the side, but still, going to the top of Vernal Falls, it's just crazy to think about that you can hike to the top of a waterfall, and then you're really in danger. If you do something stupid, you can, at the top of Vernal Falls, that was another area to just relax and take in the views, especially at the rail, the edge. You can see the drop off from the waterfall into the valley. It's just one of those things where I take a snapshot with my mind, keep it for a memory, just to remember, like, wow, I did it. Once I got to the top of Vernal Falls, I headed right to Emerald Pool. And this place right here is beautiful. And it's not a pool in that you can jump in. It's not recommended, in fact, that you jump in, and there's signs warning against swimming, because there's a current that people don't realize in the center, and it is cold. People also don't realize that. Once they're stuck in the middle and they start to get cold and freeze up, yeah, it's not a good time. So Emerald Pool, beautiful but dangerous. After Emerald Pool, I hiked up the Mist Trail, and I didn't go onto this path. I went along this river, the Merced River. You can see this water slide on the granite just going all the way down into Emerald Pool, and the unknown bridge with the unknown waterfall, no name. It was just a good point, I thought, to end the video and just take in the sights in the 360 view around me. I'm so glad I did, because by that time it was 5 o'clock and everything just felt right. It felt perfect. The view, the temperature, the weather, everything was perfect. Why they call it the Mist Trail hike is Vernal Falls. As you can see, the water coming down and crashing against the rocks at the bottom. That's that sound you guys hear, that's so violent, so earth-shatteringly loud. Those are the rocks at the bottom, the boulders, granite, and just the water hitting that is just creating a thunderous sound. And then from that, the air, the wind just carrying the water into the air, which mist is pretty much mist, and you feel it as you're hiking up. You feel a little bit of the mist on you, a little bit wet, which is really, really nice, because on a hot day when the sun is beating on you, that mist really cools you down. I forgot to mention, along the way back, passing my car to put some stuff away, I saw a ranger trying to scare a baby bear cub away from the parking lot. And I thought, okay, this is cool. This is the second time I've seen a bear, a cub, at Yosemite. And so I thought nothing of it, recorded it, headed to the pizza deck. And after I stretched a bit, because I was cramping up, I heard some pops, pop. And then first I thought, okay, I wonder if someone shot a gun, and hopefully it wasn't at that cub that I saw previously. And then another 5 minutes goes by, another pop. And when you hear a pop, a gunshot pop in Yosemite Valley, it echoes, because it's a valley. And I started to get worried. I was hoping nothing happened to that cub. So once I was ready to go home, I went to my car, and that's where I saw the crowds gathering around the parking lot. And I think I saw them last time I was here, actually. At Yosemite Falls, the lower Yosemite Falls. It might be the same group that's just troublemakers, I'd say, in Yosemite Valley. Other than those bears, I saw a bunch of silver squirrels going up the mist trail to Vernal Falls. Those guys were abundant. If you stood still, you stopped, or you sat down, those little guys would just come up to you and wait for you to drop your food or feed them some whatever you got on you. Very, very thrilling, adventurous, sightful day. I really, really enjoyed my time here, guys. Hope you guys get to experience Vernal Falls in person, and this video helped you plan ahead and plan for what is to come in terms of sights and in terms of how hard it's going to be, and you guys plan carefully. Yeah, I'll see you guys again wherever it may be in California. So yeah, bye bye.